Okay, ITS, I'm going to give you a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. My name is Councilmember Nancy Van Rees, and I'm the chair of the Parks, Library, and Arts Committee of the Metro Council. And we have been hosting a series of conversations with Parks, Library, and Arts. And we are in our now 5th of the 6th series process. We heard from first the 3 departments regarding their fiscal structure, kind of how they work and how they do what they do. And now we have pivoted to start talking about the results of those activities and hearing from employees and from some stories, if you will, of the work that they do. Last month we heard from the Parks Department, and this month we are hearing from the library. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the baton over to Director Kit Oliver. Before we begin some of the introductions that he has to make for gathering those stories, I wanted to give him a chance to give us an update as to the COVID-19 process, how that's affected the library, and how you feel we're going to be able to move our way into the new year. So, Mr. Oliver, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Councilwoman. I appreciate the opportunity for us to be here today. I think we've got some good news for you, which is kind of, I think, the bottom line of all the great things you're going to hear. We have with us today Lee Bruley, who's the Assistant Director for Collections and Technology. Wave your hand when I introduce you guys. And she'll be first when we get going. And Terry Luke, who's the Assistant Director for Branch Services. And then Nick Tognoni, who is the Coordinator for Studio Npl. And what all these folks are going to do is provide you some pretty interesting information about 3 services that have been going great guns throughout the pandemic. Npl Universe, which is our online programming, a little bit about curbside services that's going on in person, and then Studio Npl. And we could talk about some other things too, but we probably don't have time, such as what we're doing with Wi-Fi, digital inclusion, our digital formats such as ebooks and those sorts of things. One of the things I would like to do, Nancy, if you don't mind, is to send you a summary that I'm providing the mayor's office of where we are with curbside service. It's a pretty extensive, not a huge document, but it gives you a really good idea of everything that's been going on in the back, and then give you an idea if you want to share it. I'm certainly want to get that to you. I guess one of the things that people continue to do is ask, when will the libraries be open? And one of the things that we always say is that the libraries have been open. It's the buildings that have not been open, and what you're going to hear today will be very direct proof of that. But one of the things that is going to happen when the buildings do get open is that we're going to be very deliberate about it, as we have been with everything else that we've done. We're in the process of putting together procedures for what it looks like when we pilot buildings open. As I have shared with some people, we're part of a group called the Urban Libraries Council. And at this point, only 68 of 150 urban libraries in the United States have their doors open in any way, shape, or form to the public. And of those, about half are providing internet access, which we are. But at this point, in urban settings, most of the public libraries feel like the virus is not dictating any openings should really be happening for both the staff safety and the public safety. However, when we do open, we're going to be doing things like spreading out our tables and space within our buildings. We're going to not have meeting rooms available initially, and we'll be monitoring the virus within our society and see how it's going. There will not be in-person programming initially when we open. but we, we will be looking at outdoor programming. And I know Councilman Syracuse has been very interested in some outdoor programming happening out in Donaldson before the new building gets going out there. And then the other thing we'll be doing is monitoring limited capacity within the buildings. And as you're looking at those buildings that open, it will only be the larger buildings because it's very hard to social distance within the small buildings such as Hadley and Edge Hill and Inglewood and those. In regard to the funding that we've had for COVID, we spent most of our COVID funds on the federal money that we applied for was PPE and some emergency funding around staffing. But other than that, we've received very little of the COVID money. And we've been trying to stock up on our PPE, just knowing that there'll be a limit to how long that will last once we open. And so we've kind of been putting it aside, waiting for that day when we open. So I think one of the things that's really going to drive whether we can open or not, we currently have over 50 positions, staff positions that are frozen. And we have over 30 of those are in the branches. In other words, those are all staff openings that are not filled. And if today the virus was gone and we all said it's okay to open, we would not be able to open all of our branches because we don't have the staffing to do it. And we'd have to make some tough choices about which branches opened, which branches didn't. So that is my very brief, quick summary. But I do want to get on to some exciting things. And Lee's going to kick us off talking about Npl Universe.
Thanks, Ken. Mr. Buchanan, can you allow me screen sharing permission? Okay. All right. In April 2020, in response to the global pandemic, the Nashville Public Library launched Npl Universe to provide amazing programs online in an innovative and accessible way. This was a pivot to expand everything we're doing online, from increasing e-collections and podcasts to broadcasting on Facebook, Instagram, and our Npl Universe YouTube channel, story times, and other programs. The library staff provide these online library learning experiences, collections, and opportunities to our community. The key focus was how do we keep our community connected, engaged and inspired to read, and continue to advance learning. And Npl Universe also removes some geographic and transportation barriers. Highlights include Wishing Chair Productions' famous The Professor, with his many special guests, such as Old Crow Medicine Show's Catch Secor, and the entire team and Sweet Puppets continue to warm hearts and bring joy to children and adults of all ages. Be Well at NPL streams programs focused on health, including yoga and meditation, and talented staff have even led classes on painting. The staff really have done everything you can think of to advance learning, keep the community connected, and inspire reading, from cooking classes to Zoom instruction to story times. It's 401 system-wide programs that have already been streamed. That's more than one new program every day. And it's amounted to nearly 500,000 views on YouTube. And over 75,000 hours of viewing by our community. I think the snapshot of some of the programs is pretty cool. Just look at that. Npl Universe is the product of the dedication of many brilliant and talented staff. Marcom packaged NPL Universe conceptually for the public at the beginning of the pandemic. Programming creates storylines and performances that come to life in an online setting. This includes programming staff, branch staff, and the main library staff. Production services does professional, slick audio-video production, and they edit and upload videos. And the web team creates and maintains a website for access. So it really has been a collaboration of many, with the intention of community impact. That was always the goal. Here's what Brenda Head of the National Council on Aging said about NPL Zoom classes for seniors. She said, by using Zoom, they get to connect not only to the library, to the classes, they can connect to their families, to their church, and to their community. So really, I see it as a lifeline for these seniors. An email from a student about the online puppetry workshops wrote, I watched all of the workings of a wishing chair series. Thank you so much for making these. I enjoyed seeing how you guys make and repair sets and puppets, and the process of how you produce puppet shows. Your series inspired me to start working on creating my own show. I'm currently working on making the puppets, set, and audio track. And they sent us these images of their work. And just what a productive, wholesome activity for someone to engage with mentally. And all of this access is crucial for Npl Universe. From the library homepage, you can click on events up at the top in the blue banner right in the middle where it says events. And that will take you to the events page where if you look under the heading popular event series, you'll see Npl Universe. And this is just a screenshot of that I'm sharing with you. If you click on that, it takes you to the Npl Universe landing page, where you can access YouTube and Facebook pages from there. And this is just a zoomed in screenshot of that. I invite you all to take a moment after this meeting to visit the Npl Universe website. If you'd like to write down the URL, here it is. It's just library.nashville.org/NPL Universe. And remember, you can always Google Nashville Public Library to find our homepage, and it's just clicking on that events tab that I just showed you. And I'm really excited to tell you that you're actually some of the very first to see this new look and feel to Npl Universe because it went live today. So check it out. You just might find something that is really interesting and inspiring to you. I'm going to show you the Npl Universe website. So it is live, and I'm scrolling through it. So you can see where you can go to the events that are on YouTube and access the Facebook pages and the events calendar. Well, I invite you to check it out. I know we don't have a lot of time, so I kept that pretty short and sweet. Kent, I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to add to that, or if we take questions, or if I just hand it to Kurt.
The committee may have questions for you. Do you have any of the data as far as number of users right at your fingertips?
I don't, but it's kind of a tricky thing to capture the number of users because of the way YouTube captures users in a 3-month period. So it's kind of always a rolling 3 months. But I can tell you that I looked at those recently, and one of the highest months had over 110,000 unique users, which I thought was pretty great. And so then if you looked at that 3-month period, it was, I want to say like 200,000, but that was the highest month. And I'd have to look closely to really give you an average of how many unique users we have over a 3-month period, but I think we're really connecting with a lot.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Ken, if we could go ahead and let Terry and Nig go ahead, and then we'll take questions at the end for everybody.
Great. Your turn, Terry.
Okay, can you all hand me the host, please? And then I'll be able to share my PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm now the presenter. So good afternoon. I am excited to be here and to be able to, can you all see my screen? Shoot.
No, not yet.
Sorry, I have to close this out because I realized I didn't do share screen. Okay, here we go. It says I'm sharing the screen. Can you all see it now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now I'll go to the start of the slideshow and try this again. Okay, so I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Nashville Public Library's curbside service. As you can see from the screen, we are actually providing curbside service at 13 of our locations. This includes the 7 regional libraries, the main library, the Donaldson, Goodlettsville, Englewood, Richland Park, and Thompson Lane branches. We started Curbside on June 8th of 2020. The goal for Curbside is to provide books and materials to our customers through a contactless service. Our operating hours. So during the winter months, Curbside is available 7 days a week at the regional branches in Maine, and then it's available Monday through Friday at the community branches. And then in the spring, when it gets light outside, we'll resume our evening hours, and we will be open at the regional libraries in Maine until 8. We were asked how this service helps the residents of Davidson County. So throughout this presentation, you'll see conversation bubbles, and these are the compliments from our customers, and these are just a few of the compliments since we had a limited number of slides. So our first compliment is, we love you, library staff. Books available through your efforts lift us in this discouraging time. So curbside service has been very popular. Over the last 8 months, this service has averaged 4,600 customers per week, and these customers have checked out an average of 15,600 items per week. Customers placed an average of 18,900 books on hold per week. So our Green Hills Library is actually checking out the most books, followed by Bellevue and Edmondson Pike. And this conversation bubble lets us know, I appreciate still being able to borrow books. Thank you to all the great people making that happen. So the one thing I wanted to talk about during this presentation is that when people think about the curbside service, they think that we're checking out books and DVDs. But really, this is about a lot more than checking out books and DVDs. We have additional curbside services. The staff have created Storytime craft kits to go along with virtual programs. They provide mobile printing, and I'll talk about that on our next slide because the numbers have been incredible. We also provide voter registration forms, tax forms, library card applications, our quarterly Unbound that is done by our marketing staff, and then they even can get the seeds from Seed Exchange, which is a very popular program that we provide. The other thing that we found out was the customers were saying, we really miss being able to see your book displays. And so what staff are doing is they are offering book bundles. So whether it's a child who says, you know, just put together 10 books, I'm for a 5-year-old, we'll put together a bundle and you can pick it up at Curbside. The other thing is a parent might say, you know, my 11-year-old is doing a project in school on, you know, rocks. And so they actually go ahead and pull the books for that. Or it could be an adult that says, you know, I really have exhausted everything by my favorite author. What other author in books can you pull for me? So that has also been a popular service as well. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that during the spring and summer of 2020, we actually conducted our summer reading program virtually, but the logs and the prizes were distributed through Curbside service. So one of the things that we received, if you look in the bubble, is from a customer is, the library is amazing. I love Curbside pickup and the children's activity pack. You have made quarantine life better. So I wanted to talk about the mobile printing because I think that this has been a mobile service. Even when some of our customers can't get to our locations that are offering individual appointments for computer use, mobile printing available at the main library and our seven regional branches. So we have had over 500 pages printed and with 394 users per month. And right now, our Madison branch has the most mobile prints, followed by Southeast and Edmondson Pike. So in this customer service bubble, it says, I can't express how much my son and I appreciate it. Getting library books, even in this age of COVID way, feels like a touch of normalcy. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about our book bundles. We actually have had a total number of over 500 book bundles that have been created for our customers from May until January of 2021. And again, this could be books on a particular subject, something where you have a favorite author, or someone can just give the age of a child, and we'll put those book bundles together for you. And if you look at the statistics broken down, we actually have done most for children's, but we've also done adult as well as young adult book bundles. So these are the last of the customer reviews. I love the handwritten note that says, thank you so much for getting and finding my book. I love the library. This is from Gabby, who's in 3rd grade. And so during this difficult time, I think customers have let the library staff know how much they appreciate being able to use curbside service. So these are just a few of the notes that that we've received along the way. I think the one that says, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for the outstanding selections you put together for Everett, my 5-year-old. He came home from school today and immediately sat down with the entire pile of books and promptly read 2 books straight through. We had not read any of these, and so we are very excited to have a new series to check out. Thank you. So that is my presentation. This is a hand-done sign from one of our customers, and this is for the Englewood branch that said, thank you, we love you. So that's my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Terry. Nick, you're up.
All right, thank you. And I have a few things to share if I could become shareable. Terry, I think we're still seeing your screen.
Oh, really? And I just closed it.
Maybe that's the hang up. Nothing yet. Let's see.
This is Don Trey with ITS. Ken, are you trying to share your screen?
Don Trey, I'm trying to share my screen, Don Trey.
Right. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yes.
There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Don Trey. All right, I'm going to share here. I am going to tell you what, instead of bouncing back and forth between my videos and my PowerPoint slides, I'm just going to show my videos first, since you've already heard a little bit about like Npl Universe, which we'll kind of talk about, some of our curbside services, as well as some of our virtual programming. So we'll talk in more in depth. But this should kind of set the stage. I'm just going to pause it real fast. Are you able to hear the video?
Not yet, and we've had some trouble with replay, so if you have issues with it, feel free to move forward, and we'll make sure and put the link on the presentation when it goes to the YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
But feel free to try it.
Right. Thank you, Councilwoman. I'll try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'll jump into our PowerPoint here. I'm going to look to you. All right, let me double check. Is it working this time?
It's choppy and we can't hear it.
Okay, let me jump through that then. I'm going to jump right into the PowerPoint, and luckily I have some quotes here that we can see as well. Are we able to see the PowerPoint okay? Yeah, looks like it. All right, great. Well, thank you. My name is Nick Tonioni. I'm Studio Npl Coordinator for Nashville Public Library. It's like our teen space, our maker space, our recording studios, our what we call a digital learning lab. We've had to change a little bit in this past year since we're not seeing our young people every day. But it's given us an opportunity to explore virtual programming, to explore working with children and teens and adults, and kind of get our programming out there a little bit more.
Nick, let me stop you for a second. Could you double check you're sharing the right screen?
Yes, thank you. Let me do that. Escape this. And, oh, I see. It says I'm sharing QuickTime. Thank you, Councilwoman. Now let's share PowerPoint. How's this working?
You're a rock star.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Next time I'll be a rock star.
And kids at home, you can learn how to do this at the library.
You can learn how to use a Cisco. All right, cool. There we go. Let's rock. All right, here we go. So Lee talked a little bit about our Npl Universe. We have the Studio Npl playlist that's part of that universe. We aired it over the summer and the spring of in the fall of this year. And through that, we had about 16 hours of original programming, which included video tutorials, workshop highlights, videos that young people had made, and then patron submissions, stuff that people had sent us to air. And we had about 1,500 view of December of those. We took some time off during the winter to do some more virtual live programming. And then the Studio Npl playlist will launch again this Thursday, actually. And there she goes. This is Jerisa, a teen mentor of ours who contributed to the Studio Npl playlist with her coding workshops. She said she's really grateful for the opportunity that we gave her to share her tutorial videos targeted towards young people that had no experience in coding. She was able to teach them the beginning tips and tricks. That way, if they were like her and wanted to get into coding but didn't really know where to start, this gave them an opportunity to. So she contributed several coding workshops to our NPL playlist, which was really cool. Another big piece for us is working with MNPS. We do their virtual field trip program through the STEAM Expeditions program every year. And this year we couldn't do it, obviously, so we had to switch it virtually. What that entailed was us, instead of having the young people come to us, obviously, we put together about a 35-minute field trip that had 3 different experiences. There was 3D printing. You see an example of that here. There was paper rocket straw building, where they sort of learned about how rockets worked and how to make them at home. And then there was a music theory and music production tool using Google Chrome Music Lab. So they could do this at home, they could do this from their phone, etc. You'll see here in October, in November, we worked with all the schools listed here on the left, 7th grade schools. And you'll see those numbers there. That's the number of young people that were registered to take part in our virtual workshop series, which was a huge win for us and a great way to get our programming out into the schools. This is a quote from the STEAM coordinator, Tiffany Griffin Miner. She is our contact at MNPS. She said, virtually, we were able to carry over the same in-person field trip activities, engage students with Studio Npl educators, introduce them to new concepts, and get them to continue moving forward. She was very grateful of this, not only because of the quality and the rigor that was offered to our students, and I have to say we put a lot of work into these. We do worksheets, pre and post activities, so they're really well thought out and they follow a curriculum. But she also complimented the kindness, the warmth, and the expertise of the Studio Npl mentor staff. Another big move for us was the building of makerspace circulation kits and making of training videos. These are kits that we started building in response to a teacher who asked us if they could borrow some robotics for a summer camp last summer. And so we have a series of 13 boxes. They're like recording studios in a box, little cell phone video accessories in a box, robotics and 3D printing tools in a box that patrons can check out and use at home. And then they also have videos that we have on YouTube taking people through everything that's in the box and how to use them. This is a teacher friend of ours, Megan Creamer. She's a 3rd grade teacher, and she's been attending our 3D printing hangouts, which are weekly. They're for all ages, and we also do print on demand, and we'll have 3D prints available for pickup. She said that Studio Npl's virtual 3D printing meetups have been awesome for her, a great way for her to disconnect from teaching, and also just to be able to learn for herself and to continue learning through the 3D printing community. This has been a really neat opportunity to engage adults and teens together with our mentors, learning some free 3D printing software that's available online. We've also worked with younger people than we normally do through some of our virtual programming. This young man, Jonah, participated in some of our sewing virtual workshops where we made a bunch of different sewing kits and no-sew craft kits available for curbside pickup that Terry sort of talked about. And people could come pick them up and then take part in a Wednesday workshop. This young man took part in one of our sewing workshops. He said he appreciated it because during the pandemic, he couldn't really get outside and have some social times. This gave him an opportunity to be creative, work with other people, think outside of the box, and making him feel like he could make 3D things. He made he made a stuffed animal of an owl during this workshop the first time he had sewn. This is another one of our no-sew kits. They no-sew garland just in time for the holiday season. This person wrote, they were excited to learn how to make the no-sew garland. They just wanted to give high praise for our 2 staff members. I think my favorite part about this is they said they've lived in many cities and they were super impressed with the programs that we are promoting for local patrons. And finally, another one of our participants, Zanel here, he always used to come to our space and was passionate about filmmaking, and he has not had the tools or the ability to do that at home. So he's been taking part in our video editing virtual workshops where we teach them about free online video editing techniques or software, and then just share off techniques. We will do some editing with them. They can kind of direct us as we do the editing virtually. He said this class is very helpful in teaching young filmmakers like himself. It's a great opportunity to have. The virtual class is especially helpful in this time when we are all remote. But he thinks it'll be an asset for opportunities later in life, and he really seems to enjoy and has been asking us to do more, which we're actually now have put more on the calendar. Finally, not finally, but partnerships is a huge part of what we do with Studio NPL. We partner with all sorts of nonprofits that serve young people in the city and bring them to the library and help them serve our patrons and help them get their name out there. Southern Word is a writing and music program here in Nashville. They're huge. They do fabulous work, and they're a really great partner for us. We've been partnering with them to host programming for children, for middle schoolers, and for high schoolers. You'll see a sample here of the Winter Games series and some of the workshops we're doing there, including music production, fiction writing, poetry, and more music for a bunch of different ages. We're also partnering with them starting tomorrow to work with the public schools in their I3 Grow STEM program to do podcasting workshops. We're very excited for that. That'll be about an 8-week program, if I believe, where they'll help sort of coach the podcast writing, and then we'll work with the podcast creation and the sort of technical pieces of it. During the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of talk about PPE, and it was really hard to get PPE, and how could we make it, 3D print it, et cetera. One of our mentors, pictured here, Will, did a lot of work designing and printing 3D printed PPE, including, you'll see, a face mask, a shield, and then, of course, just a sewn mask. So we did a bunch of videos on that. We also 3D printed mask extenders, which are little plastic pieces that connect to your mask and wrap around your head to take some of the pressure off the ears. Printed 1,000 of those and distributed them to the public schools, to metro parks, to Nashville General Hospital, and then, of course, to our colleagues here at the library. Another big piece of our programming during COVID was to reach out to schools and community partners and parks and do workshops for people that were struggling with online learning or finding ways to work virtually at home. So we did a series on homework help and good study tips for working at home. We showed them some of the databases that are available to them through Nashville Public Library, and how to minimize distractions and that kind of thing. A YCAP coordinator, we partnered with YCAP over in East Nashville to do some virtual programming for them on maintaining focus while virtual learning. This person actually had us host it for their staff as well as some of their participants. So we got to talk with staff members who were trying to find better techniques for working at home. Finally, what's next for us? You heard me talk about the podcast that will be starting tomorrow. We're very excited about that. You heard me talk about the Nashville Public Library Universe Studio NPL playlist, which will start this week. We're co-hosting NPL's Fandom Fest in March with weekly videos on Thursday about fandom stuff, comic creation, that sort of thing. We're continuing our weekly craft, writing, music, and 3D printing workshops. We have workshops every day of the week virtually. And we're also providing some editing, filming, and prop building support for other library departments who are doing virtual programming, because we have this great makerspace and production lab up here that they can use. And finally, we're really excited for one-on-one, small group, and outside programming when we are cleared for that. And I will leave it at that. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, everybody. It was fantastic. I'm always learning new things, and I'm real excited about providing opportunity for this committee to amplify some of this information. So I'm encouraging everybody on the committee and throughout the Metro Council, but particularly this committee, to add some of these things in our newsletters, to put it on our socials, to encourage not only folks to participate in their local branch, but to look online to see what else is available to them and to their family members. And so this is fantastic information. We do have about 20 minutes or so to be able to address questions. And so if you are on the committee, you can feel free to raise your hand if you have a question for any of the folks that have presented. I will start off, Mr. Oliver, with the question of these 50 positions that need to be funded. And from you, what turnaround time perhaps is, what the turnaround time would be from if you were to open now and you needed to be fully up and running, what's your timeline of being able to be fully staffed? And give us a little bit more insight on that as we
Sure.
into the budget season.
Yeah, if the hiring freeze were lifted, in order to process those opening positions, it would probably take us, I'm guessing, somewhere between 8 and 12 weeks, if we were lucky. And that would be working on them consistently. So that's the kind of thing we'd be looking at. And, you know, of course, we want to make sure and get the right folks in those positions. But all along, we've been looking at, as we reopen, it'll be a gradual process because we want to make sure that our procedures are in place. So what you would likely see would be the regional libraries begin to open. And then as we had more staff, we'd be moving into what we call the mid-sized branches and hopefully the community branches at some point.
Because there's been so much discussion about the appropriate way to open our schools, it seems like there would be a parallel discussion in regard to how to keep employees safe as well as the folks that are participating. And as schools continue to pick up, more demand continues to increase at the libraries. And so it's good to keep in mind that you're saying that it would take, even if you said yes, get ready, it would still be 10 minutes out if you're lucky to be ready. And so kind of having that in mind, because from what I'm reading, if things need to be ready for you to be the place for whether there's summer schools or whether there's whatever's going to happen in the summer to be ready, then we need to be mindful of allowing that to happen during the spring if you're going to be ready by the summer. So I'm looking to see if any council members have any questions. Please raise your hand.
Tag on to that.
Go ahead.
One thing that's that's interesting that we're having a lot of internal discussions about right now, and you'll be seeing requests for the mayor's office will be with the budget enhancements as we go through the budget process. You've heard some detail on two programs, the Curbside service and also Npl Universe, that we expect people will want us to continue as we go forward, even when the buildings are open. People love Curbside, whether it's going to a restaurant or coming to the library. And we're going to be making some requests for additional staffing in order to make both of those programs happen. The Curbside is very staff intensive, and what we're trying to do right now is identify locations that would logically continue that throughout the county. And then Npl Universe, Lee gave you a good breakdown of all the different groups within the library that are involved with that. But you can't discount the idea that there's a lot of production that goes on in the background, and also a lot of development of the programs themselves, because we do like to produce a quality program that goes up. And we're also going to be thinking about how the live programs that we will eventually be doing again in the buildings could potentially dovetail and end up on the media. So, there are a lot of kind of exciting things that we want to do that a lot of libraries around the country are seeing, but they are staff driven. And at this point, I see that as kind of our biggest challenge, is how we make things happen with a limited amount of staff.
Thank you for that. I see Councilmember Henderson. Your hand is raised. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, staff, as well. I love hearing about all the things that you all have going on. And in my December issue of my newsletter, I really featured the library prominently with a lot of links and the concierge service. I found that really fun little video you had of the Curbside mouse. And shared that. I myself have a little free library in my front yard, and so kind of tied all that in thematically. My constituents use both the Green Hills branch and the Bellevue branch, and as I saw, they're very active users, so my constituents really do love the library. I wanted to ask from a social media perspective, just kind of looking on your Twitter and your Facebook, some branches are active, with their own page. Then there's the main branch, but then the main page. I do struggle a little bit to find kind of the content for you all. So, I'm wanting to feature the library, and then when I have a newsletter, I feel like I'm hunting pretty hard to get some content to put over to my newsletter. And so I wondered if you could just speak about, your Twitter presence and Facebook, and how you've kind of systematized that to, share across all the branches, or, if you have a strategy there, if you could share that, please.
Well, I will start, and then the others might want to jump in. But Marcom that you saw referred to under Npl Universe is our marketing and communications team. And they do have a strategy in that they work with the different branches and their Facebook pages and helping them with the content. And Marcom is who is responsible for pushing this out on social media, primarily as we have programming. And I would also say that as you go back and think about the library's main website, most things can be driven from that library's main website, and it can be tracked through there when you go down into the branch pages. Terry, did you have anything else on that?
I was just going to say that since we, at the start of the pandemic, we have actually added more individual Facebook pages, and we went through training with staff in order to make that happen. And our Marcom department worked with the branch managers and did a special training. So what we're trying to do is, by their individual Facebook pages, is reaching out to their community to let them know what's going on at their specific location. Does that help?
It does, and I appreciate that. I had noticed that you all had a bit more presence on Facebook, whereas previously, I think maybe the Bellevue branch had a Facebook page, but the Green Hills didn't. I could be wrong in my recollection of that, but also too, I would say just kind of from a continuity standpoint, I think y'all have done some improvement where all the pages basically kind of look the same, and it's clear which the branch was. You could tell they had been maybe established previously somewhat ad hoc, which is fine. But, when you're trying to kind of at them on Facebook, it can be hard when you're kind of like a public page to get it to kind of populate like you need to. And so, as council members, we a lot of us have we have a wide variety of social platforms, and that people will, of course, we hope follow you independently, but follow us as well. So I'm going to look a little closer at Facebook to see if that's improved somewhat, because I had just kind of started not to look there much anymore. And to your suggestion, Director Oliver, just kind of gone to the main page, which is comprehensive. But I think, whether it be Twitter or a little more presence on Facebook, I find myself that, when I had young children, I was so engaged in the library, story times over there all the time. And then I think, our seniors are fairly engaged. But I really am trying to, make sure kind of young adults and people in midlife kind of get circling back to using our libraries, because they are so great. So thank you for that. And then I appreciate that y'all are kind of working more intentionally with the social media. So thank you.
And just also to add one more thing about that was that at Green Hills, they're actually using all of their staff, the 40 hours a week, just to be able to provide curbside service. Their curbside is so popular that every single staff member is being used for that. So they do have a Facebook page, but they probably are not able to dedicate as much time to it as perhaps Bellevue is able to. But we are just in the process of we're signing an agreement with a company called Unique, and we're going to add Curbside Communicator. It's a software program that is going to help us with all the volume of phone calls at the very busiest branches. So hopefully that will help, and they'll be able to get back to being able to update the Facebook page at Green Hills more frequently.
That's
Great, thank you.
Information, and thank you, Councilmember Henderson, for that insight. I think a lot of you guys know that in a formal life, I was a digital marketer, and so I think that probably, trying to break the elephant down a little bit, Mr. Oliver might help in that your branch managers know the council districts they serve, to encourage them just to reach out to those council members and say, what kind of content do you need and how often do you need it, so that we can then share that out. I think that may reduce some of the overwhelming need into smaller chunks. I found it interesting in that report about the over 5,000 pages printed per month. And of course, it mentioned that the Madison branch customers are using that the most. Could you explain more what you mean by printed pages, so that I understand what that means? Because it can mean anything, I guess, from a 3D printer to a copy machine. So could you explain that a little bit more?
Sure. So it's actually 5,000 pages that are printed per month for those 395 users. So it can be anything from they print a voter registration form, and it's normally they would come into the library and they would use the computer and then be able to print it. But now what they're doing is we have a mobile printing software that allows customers to several times a day go ahead and make the request, and then those prints are available to pick up at Curbside. So does that help?
That's fascinating to me. I would love to hear what that data would tell us. Like if I'm seeing 394 users per month, and 3 libraries are primarily seeing the bulk of that, what they're asking for. Is it job related? Is it tax related? Is it something that the economic development needs to know about? Is it something that that would inform us as to what a need is that we might not be aware of? I think kind of having branch managers be mindful that information is something that is important for us to be able to make sure that we're serving the community in the way that we need. For example, I have a theory that the Financial Empowerment Center, having set up shop at the Madison Library, may have something to do with people knowing that they can print things there, for example, right? So it's like, is that a theory or is that reality? So I think that things like that, you'd be surprised how nerdy we are that we want to know that information. So I think that would be extremely helpful. I also know, and I'm speaking on behalf of members, that we are very anxious to have community rooms available again for meetings, even if they're spaced out and like limited in some way. Because I've kind of thought ahead of, can we set up a live video and at the same time have community leaders from neighborhood associations present and still filming, so that you kind of have a Frankenstein version of a community meeting as we're moving back towards in-person. But having those locations to be able to do that would be imperative. And so any information that we can give as council members as to how that might happen, we want to make sure and do. Are there any other questions from committee members? I think Councilwoman Stiles said I already asked her question, so that's good. That was good. Anyone else? Fantastic. Well, we're thrilled at the work that you've always done. I can't believe it was 2017, right? It was Library of the Year. So time flies, but in our hearts, you're still the Library of the Year. We want to make sure and amplify all the good that you're doing in as many ways as possible, and hopefully this information is part of that story. So reach out to us if you have any questions along the way. Director Oliver, thank you for your leadership. Lee, Meg, Terry, thank you so much for sharing with us. And with that, we'll go ahead and close this meeting, and we look forward to the next time. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.